Hi everyone, welcome to the sixth and final lesson of e-commerce all-star secrets. You've had a chance to learn how to do drop shipping, how to implement the best possible strategy with getting started with e-commerce with Nick Peroni. You've learned how important creative is and how to structure and scale your Facebook campaigns with Ben Malal. You've learned how to know your numbers with Dimitri Skiadas. You've learned how to leverage social reach and influencer marketing with Greta Van Riel. And you've learned how to create high converting funnels with Muhammad Ali Agel. So we've saved probably the most advanced piece for last, and Nick Shackelford is just an absolute heavy hitter when it comes to this kind of stuff. And you'll notice in his lesson, he just goes right for the jugular and provides you an incredible amount of value no matter where you are on the spectrum, especially if you're advanced. The thing that he's about to teach you could really help change and stabilize and grow your business. So Nick Shackelford, I can't even see this slide that I made for him because it's covered by all his insane screenshots. The guy is managing, millions of dollars a month through his agencies with e-commerce. He built the 8-figure Fidgetly company. He basically popularized fidget spinners and brought them to the US. He has experience with brands from Pepsi to Apple. He's also done amazing things with Pup Socks, where he scaled to $1 million ad spend at 4x ROI, which is one of the case studies we produced with him. He is one of the top experts in the world when it comes to high-level, super advanced Facebook techniques, and he's going to share a doozy with you today. So here's what he's going to share. So advanced customer retention and frequency. When we talk about e-commerce, we talk a lot about user acquisition, but what we don't talk about nearly enough is customer retention and customer frequency, which is when and where and how to bring your customers back through your ads. So he's going to teach you the most important metric, he thinks, with e-commerce, which is one that directly relates to LTV, which is called the purchase frequency rate. So he's going to teach you how to learn your purchase frequency rate, knowing how much customers are worth, how much they're going to be spend, how to calculate what their LTV is early on, and how to be predictive about it. He's going to teach you how to find the customers you should be focusing on, and then he's going to give you a tool that allows you to automate this whole process from start to finish.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Nick Shackelford, and I'm super excited to be here today because I'm going to be talking to you about how you can uncover hidden revenue in minutes doing things that you're already doing.
Cool. So, who are you and how are you going to help me find this hidden revenue you spoke about? Well, my name is Nick Shackelford, and I'm a former professional soccer player. And the only reason why I'm including this is because it's a theme that's going to be reoccurring as we get underway for this lesson, is the idea of delayed gratification. Understanding that you're putting in work now, you're building audiences now, so that when it's time for you to scale, for that when it's time for you to actually put the pedal to the metal, you're able to do it and not break things. You're able to have a sustainable campaign and maintain that high level spend. If you don't put the groundwork now, you're never going to be able to be that quote unquote professional. And this is an idea that's been engraved with me for a very, very long time. So, where did I get my start? So, I began media buying in the traditional sense. So, I was having meetings with CMOs of PepsiCo brand restaurants that were trying to ideate around how do we get more millennials? How do we get more young people walking through our door and drinking our drink and buying our food? Me being a millennial, 90s kid, I was at the right place at the right time and a great opportunity to sit here and have conversations about how these brands need to relate to us, the consumer, by sharing content. And it's really hard to measure. I think it still is hard to measure the actual revenue driven by ads to physical stores. But even back then, it was frustrating because we knew what we needed to do. We needed to relate better and we needed to show them what they wanted to see so that it made them purchase. Same things we do today online. And these talks were more on the organic side. Share this, share that, go to your Instagram, go to your Facebook. And it was exciting, right? It opened my eyes to see all these studies and understandings of psychology of how we get consumers to buy our product. But to me, it just wasn't quick enough. You would ideate, have a game plan, launch a game plan, report back a couple months and see how revenue raised. And I was like, man, I know this organic stuff is great, but there's got to be some more quick turning, direct response style of marketing, which I was fortunate enough to find with my first team on Apple. So I spent just under a year there and we launched 2 products. The reason why it was so fantastic was iPhone 7 I was a part of, as well as the MacBook Pro launch. And these were big deals. This is talk of the town, the iconic brand Apple, somebody that I loved working for. But again, there was missing something, right? We were tracking views and clicks and impressions and spending these millions of dollars on these massive campaigns, but where where's the revenue back? Like, how did I impact your top line? How did I impact the bottom line? That's something that was still missing in this world of digital marketing. So I was on the organic side, loved it. Creativity was there. I was on the paid side, but it was brand, awesome, massive budgets, very cool and unique campaigns, big names. But there was one last thing, this direct response, quick turn, burn, make that cash. And that was my first opportunity and was during the fidget spinner trend. So the co-founder, his name is Jake Schmidt, started the idea, was the man around the, understood where to go, right? He went to Instagram first, launched with influencers. I'm like, man, this thing's got legs. So me being the Facebook dude, I was like, let me get it. Give me an opportunity. I'm going to take a swing. Created a great video. This video went off. It was like 1 month in, maybe just over 1 month of thinking. We're already hit our first six figures. And that learning experience was amazing. And I saw real quick, I was like, damn, okay. Make a video, get your targeting, put the right offer in the front of the right audience, and you're gonna make your money. So that was my first introduction. I was stoked. I was like, okay, this is what I need to do. So ever since that moment, which is about a year, 2 years ago, I've been challenging myself with selling new products, different industries, high price points, low price points. What does scale mean? And by doing this practice where I'm at now with a great team at Common Thread Collective is we're doing millions of dollars in spend across 20 different brands at any time. We have all these understanding, all these data. There's all these commonalities that go back and forth that people might not necessarily know because they just don't have the access to it. So us having the insight to all their analytics, all their campaigns, there's a lot of learnings that we as digital marketers are obligated to share with all the brands in which we come in contact with. But to sum it up before we get into the good stuff is why I feel as though I'm qualified to speak upon this is because I'm doing it, right? I'm planning, I'm strategizing, and I'm creating campaigns with the sole goal of increasing customer frequency to increase that retention of the customer because the longer we keep that customer, the more money they spend with us, which means we get to do what everybody's talking about, which is spend more money on Facebook and scale. So that is where a lot of this talk is going to be going towards. And if I could introduce anybody to one thing, it'd be how to determine what your purchase frequency rate is, how to increase your customer retention, and ultimately, how are you able to spend more money on Facebook? So look at it real quick. What a lot of today's talk is going to be about is defining what your purchasing frequency rate is or your PFR and how to find it. So what this is meaning is how many times does a customer come to your store and purchase? In a period of time, whether it's a quarter, a year, what have you, how many times are they buying from you? If you don't know, I'm gonna show you how to do it. And how much is this person paying for their purchase? Now there's two different type of metrics here. It's your AOV and your LTV. AOV being usually based upon a single order and what that value is to you. So if you sell an $80 product, your AOV is around 80 bucks. That's what the AOV is. But your LTV, your lifetime value, is how much money are they spending at your store over time, right? That's where a lot of the talks can be about today is how do we increase the frequency, which would increase the value that customer is to you, as well as what are some quick ideas or audiences that you can kind of continue to nurture so that they are staying with you longer. That's the retention side of things. But before we kind of get into like these three main topics, I want to take a step back and talk about a couple of things. Is all we're hearing in the industry, my entire feed, all the groups I'm a part of, everybody's talking about two things: is scale, and I'm guilty for this too, right? Scale, 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 spend, 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 acquire, acquire, acquire. But what they're not talking long enough is, okay, yeah, there's some retargeting comments, but it's not retargeting, it's retention, right? Anybody knows how to run a retargeting ad or what type of creative to put there. But what are these sustainable campaigns that you continue to nurture, and where's your focal point? Because this is where everyone's focused upon, right? In the customer life cycle, they're looking at the first four phases, and this is expensive. Acquiring customers is never going to get cheaper, right? You're always going to pay for it. So how can we look internally? How can we focus upon what we've already done so well is acquire those customers, and how do we turn those customers that we've already paid for, right? We've paid for them, we've introduced ourselves, they are ours. Now, how do we get more out of them? How do they purchase more? How do you give them more value? It's simple. It's giving them what they want. It's putting another offer right in front of them because at the end of the day, you know that they want to spend more with you. They've done it before. And if you have a great product, a great brand, the experience has been pleasant, you're going to keep them for much longer. Not just keep them, but they're going to become an advocate on your behalf. They're going to be speaking highly of your brand, sharing their videos. You see it on Amazon, you see it on all these PDPs. It's pictures of people using the product. Social proof is probably one of the major indicators of whether someone's going to buy a product or not. Everybody has FOMO. Everybody understands that if other people are enjoying it, they should be enjoying it as well. So by shifting your focus not on just acquiring everybody, but on making more from who you've already acquired, this is the first step in understanding what your customer retention will be. So of course, all these things are very necessary if you want to build a sustainable e-commerce business, is turning that initial buyer into a repeat buyer and then becoming an advocate of your brand, which will then in turn bring more buyers to you. You see where I'm going, right? You see this entire cycle, and it begins with that purchase, right? It begins with understanding how often a customer is buying from you during any substantial period of time and defining that. Because what this will allow you to do is determine how much money you can spend on platform based upon your AOV and your LTV of a customer. The more they spend with you, the more margin you have, the more dollars you're able to spend on acquiring the customers that mean the most to you. So by addressing the idea of there's specific customers that you should be putting repeat offers in front of because they're loyal, they're going to continue to spend with you, and they're really going to understand that you are the right fit for them. You serve a purpose that they've been wanting you to fulfill. All this stuff is good to know, but all this stuff is very important to know, but what does it actually mean? Why do I want to shift your mindset into this? Is because, and it's not rocket science, right? We understand that there is a journey. There's an awareness period. They get interested, then they want it, they make an action, then they're in, right? They made the purchase. But all that work we did up front, straight ahead, if it's 6 steps and 4 of them takes effort to make them purchase and commit, the back 2 are where you should enjoy it, right? You should get all you can after you spent so much time, money, effort, frustration in acquiring them. Now we should nurture, right? Now we should be able to focus upon what happens next. And I don't know if you've noticed, but things are getting a little expensive, right? You can't argue that if you take a quick Google search or just go through any of the media buying groups, you can see headlines that are talking about costs are rising. I can't find a cheap click anymore on Facebook. I think one of my favorite thing was, guys, it's not working anymore. I'm going to Reddit. I'm sure Reddit's fine, but I'll take my chances on Facebook. Okay, so what do I do? Right? I'm just starting out. I know things are getting expensive. What do I need to be thinking about? How do I need to be executing so that I can sustain and get past these platform fluctuations or these rising costs? Well, at the beginning, let's take a deep breath because it's about to get real. We're about to start finding numbers. We're about to start understanding these key metrics for you to kind of build your business around, right? Once you establish this, it's going to give you a crazy insight into knowing where your ad dollars should be going, what retention campaigns, what does that post-purchase funnel look like, and it all begins with 3 key numbers. And